Hi, welcome back to Willow Nursery Distribution Center, Avon, Ohio. We're here on a very beautiful November day. Wind's blowing about 35 miles an hour, but it's nice for November. We'll take it. What I want to do today, I want to feature a series of weeping trees, a couple weeping evergreens, for the reason they don't have leaves on them now, and I wanted to show you what the actual structure of the plant looked like. Because this structure is basically what your customer is looking at all winter long, 5 months, no leaves. So it'll be a little interesting. I'm going to show you the oddball stuff, not the common stuff. And that I think will be kind of interesting. I'll show you plants maybe some of you have never seen. Weeping snow fountain cherry. Very common plant, most of you are familiar with it. But this particular one really has got a gorgeous weeping structure to it. And for those of you that don't know, it's an early white bloomer. Blooms early April, as soon as the weather breaks. Very, very gorgeous plant. And it's kind of a, maybe a burgundy yellow mixture in the fall. Very, very nice plant. It comes in two forms. The one you're looking at now is what they call base budded. That means the branches are coming out all along the trunk, as you can see. And there's another form, which is called the umbrella form, which is nothing more than, the look is nothing more than the common pink weeping cherry, which you're all familiar with. So you can get them in both forms. Yeah, this next one we're showing you, we haven't showed you all season. It's weeping larch. Real nice plant. They start out growing basically straight up and down. They've been trained that way. And eventually they'll start cascading over to one side. Great plant. It looks like an evergreen, but the needles do fall off after they turn yellow. You can see a little yellow on them right now. So it's got a good fall color. They get up about 8-10 foot, 10-12 foot, somewhere in that area, with a similar spread, but very trainable, so you can control it. Another great weeping tree is weeping beech. They come in two flavors, a green leaf one and a burgundy leaf one. This is the green one that you're looking at right now. This guy can get big. The specs on this probably would be maybe 50-60 foot with maybe a 20-25 foot spread. In Westlake, Ohio, there is a gorgeous one that I've watched grow since I was a very young man. And that thing right now is at least 60 foot tall. You should see that plant. It's gorgeous. But it's a very, very good plant. Not too many things bother it, but you got to make sure you give it a lot of room. They look cute when they're small, but this one does grow. The beech you're looking at now, this is the red one. And actually there are two forms with the red leaves on them. This one is the shorter one. Can get up probably about 8, 10, maybe 12 foot, with probably a 6 to 8 foot spread. The other variety that we grow is the one that is called Purple Fountain. Now, Purple Fountain, that one can get up there. That can get in that 15, 20, 25 foot range, but stays very narrow. Average maybe 5 foot wide, say by 20 foot tall. So you got a couple different choices. Yeah, now you're looking at one that maybe you are not familiar with. This is actually a weeping dogwood tree form. It is called Elizabeth Lustgarten. Small tree. It gets up maybe that 8 to 10 foot range, quite slow growing. May have a 5 foot, 6 foot spread on it, easily controlled. It's a Kusa strain, which means it's going to bloom in June with that star-shaped Kusa flower. Been out for several years now, much underused. You got that small little spot, say in a semi-shaded area. It's a great plant. What you're seeing right now is weeping Norway spruce. Willow has grown these for years, but this season they started a new growing procedure and also renamed this as weeping Norway spruce cascading. gotten a lot of calls for that lower grower one, the thing you can use around ponds or in certain areas. Rock gardens look great as they spread out. So this is Weeping Norway Spruce Cascading, it is called. The specs on this, because they have been kept down, they're not being trained to go high, that baby will probably get up 4 or 5, maybe 6 foot. And as those lateral branches, you see them on the side right there, they could probably spread anywhere from 4 up to maybe 6 foot long laterally. Of course, they can be kept down through pruning. They're very easy to keep controlled. But this is really a specialty weeping plant. And this new form, I think, is going to work very well for a lot of you. Yeah, this is a plant that you've seen a few times this year. It's one of my favorites. This is called Ryeson Weeping Japanese Maple. It is a green leaf variety. And if it is trained, this might be a little confusing now. If it is trained, staked, it has a potential of 15 foot. But when you stop training it, like these are stopped right now, except the one has a stake in it, at probably about 4 foot. In many, many years, that plant maybe would get 6 foot tall, maybe. But the nice part about the plant is that it's very narrow. It gets only about 4 to 5 foot wide, stays narrow, and has a gorgeous weeping habit. The branch structure on it is just unbelievable, as you can see. It's a great plant. Yeah, what you're looking at right now is a green leaf Japanese maple. The name is Viridis. Everybody knows what the red ones will look like, and this one is similar in growth habits. But this has a green leaf, and the fall color is an orangey color, which is absolutely gorgeous. And much showier, I feel, than the red ones, especially in the fall. But being green leaf, it takes a form of its own. I do use the red Japanese maples. I have used them. But I really prefer the green. It just fits in. It's like a lime green color to the foliage. It's a great plant. It can get up, 8, 10 foot, maybe a little bigger, easily pruned, and probably about, possibly 8, 10 foot maybe wide. But very easily controlled. That's the secret with Japanese maples, just through pruning. It's just one nice plant. Try it sometime. And what you're looking at now is the condensed version of what we have in Japanese maples. But there is a very, very good supply, number-wise and variety-wise. Yeah, what you're looking at now is a very, very unusual plant. I didn't learn about it until probably 20 years ago myself. It's called weeping pea shrub. It's actually a small tree. As you can see, it comes in 2 forms. The common form gets in height probably 8 to 10 and 5 to 6 foot wide in many, many years, of course. And the second form is called Walkeri, which is a little lower growing, maybe 5 to 6 by 3 to 4 foot. The difference in the two, the common one has a little heavier leaf on it, and Walkeri has a very fine cut leaf on it. They both bloom in the springtime. They take a pea-shaped flower on it, yellow. Very unusual. Something you got to see. It's great for a small space area. Just a nice little plant. Yeah, here's another very unknown variety, and I think it's just a cool plant. It's called Weeping Blue Arctic Willow. The leaf on it during the season is kind of a very bluish green in color, small, as you can see. There's still some leaves on it. It does turn yellow in the fall, puts on quite a fall show. It can get up anywhere in that 10 to 15 foot mark, but controllable, and maybe about 8, 10 foot wide. It's just one nice plant, different color in the landscape. Matter of fact, outside of a blue juniper, this has probably got the bluest foliage I've ever seen. It's just one nice plant. Try it sometime. Yeah, this next tree that we're going to look at, this is a weeping Kwanzan cherry. A little bit unusual. It's rather new in the industry, but most of you are familiar with Kwanzan cherry with that big, large, pink, kind of a rose-shaped flower on it in the spring. Well, this flower is the same, but it is in a weeping form, as you can see. It can get up in that 15, 20-foot mark, probably with a similar spread. What I like about it are the stiff lateral branching on it. It doesn't weep right down along the trunk, so as it progresses, it'll be rather an open tree, which has certain value to it. Well, I saved the best for last. Beautiful, beautiful Louisa flowering crab. It's got some good size to it right now. And what it is, it's a pink flowering crab. It's been around for a while. It does not get apple scab. It stays extremely clean, dark green leaves. It gets small yellow flowers, apples on it. And it can get up 12 foot, 12 to 15 with a similar spread, but there again, being weeping, it's controllable. And can you imagine that if you're in the lighting business with outdoor lighting on it? And that's a good factor for everything we looked at today. Anything that weeps is a candidate as it gets a little bigger for outdoor lighting. And at nighttime, that really puts on a show. And one thing I'd like to mention, when you're using these weepers, call them specimens or whatever you want to call them, don't get too crazy with them. They are a plant, a tree, let's say, that you want to draw attention to, so you don't want to put 3 or 4 of them in the same bed. I've seen that done, and I don't think so. I think keep it as one, plant nice around it, underneath it, whatever, and the tree will draw the eye to that particular area. That's how you use a specimen. Okay, we're going to close the doors for the day. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate that. And I hope you picked up a few pointers today. Because as you probably know, if you've listened to me a little bit this year, I'm a real nut when it comes to using specimen material. It's so valuable in the landscape. I'm so tired of looking at spreaders and balls and squares and points. Try to mix it up a little bit. So, have a good rest of the day. Hope to see you next week.